As a specialized agency of the African Union, the African Peer Review Mechanism is a mutually agreed instrument voluntarily acceded to by member states of the African Union as a self-monitoring mechanism. Its mandate is to encourage conformity with regards to political, economic, and corporate governance values, codes, and standards amongst African countries towards achieving Agenda 2063 and SDGs 2030. At the event, President Muhammadu Buhari and his colleagues discussed identified deficiencies and shared experiences towards reinforcing best practices that will lead to political stability, high economic growth, sustainable development, and accelerated sub-regional and continental economic integration.
Nigeria is going to be the next country, actually, that's going to be reviewed. So I think Mr. President was there to listen to the review of Egypt and to understand and to see the whole process and the different things, the governance issues that they review, and so on. So I think the takeaway was, it's called a peer review. It's about sharing best practices. And during the review of Egypt, there were also some areas of best practice that the reviewers, pointed out. So it was also something that Mr. President could take away and apply also in Nigeria.
Highlights of the summit was the takeover by the South African leader Cyril Ramaphosa, the chairmanship of the APR Forum from his Chadian counterpart, President Idris Deby Itno. President Muhammadu Buhari also joined dozens of African leaders at the AU Peace and Security Council meeting in furtherance of their sustained engagement for a peaceful and secured Africa as envisaged in Agenda 2063. The situation in Libya and the Sahel region dominated discussions as President Muhammadu Buhari, during the closed session, condemned in strong terms the perpetrators of terrorism, violent extremism, and other forms of vicious conflicts that continue to cause mayhem and untold hardship in the region. He said time has come for a new strategic thinking to effectively prevent, manage, and resolve conflicts in the face of new circumstances.
And of course, the Sahel aspect was, has a direct bearing on Nigeria. And so Mr. President was there and listened to the status report of the situation in Libya, which of course affects us greatly, especially with regards to small arms and light weapons that are proliferating in our part of the world. And so we're now trying to come up with a common strategy to address the situation. But I think most importantly, in Mr. President's speech, it was really the question of, he emphasized in that speech that no foreign interference in Libya, because that is what is exacerbating the situation there, and the importance of all the parties sitting down and coming to an agreement.
Before going into the closed session, UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres said the United Nations will back meaningful efforts and work hand in hand with the African Union towards supporting the people of Libya and the Sahel region as they secure their economic, security, and political future. From Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.